Hello and welcome back to the Kunes Collective. Marcos and my co-host Sandy here. Sandy, I think we got called out a little bit in the comments on one of the platforms, and basically I think we were using car lingo a little bit in one of our past conversations, so I think it would be good. We talked about that a little bit, maybe breaking down the car lingo.
The language, yeah.
Yeah, because for example, I think one the first one that popped in when I brought it up, the first one that you said was ACV.
Yeah.
Right. So ACV, what is can you maybe use it in a sentence? If you're at the dealership, can you use ACV in a sentence?
Yeah, I think we forget because we use the lingo so much that we forget customers are sitting right in front of us going, what does that mean? Yeah, with ACV, that means actual cash value when trading or when appraising your trade-in.
Yeah, essentially the cash dollar value that your vehicle actually has. Now, before we get too far into this, should we maybe say to any salespeople watching, it's not really good practice, and we, like I said, we're the first ones at fault here, but it's not really good practice to be like talking car lingo with your customers. Am I right in saying that?
I mean, yeah, you can to a point, but there's a lot of times I think that, especially if you're doing it for so long, that it's part of our language or vocabulary that we forget, like when we're talking to customers and we say that language, we forget that they don't know what that means.
Right.
So
ACV, you said it stands for actual cash value, what it's actually worth. How about if someone says they're upside down in their trade?
Upside down. So that's going to be where, let's say that you owe $20,000 on your car and we're appraising it and it's worth, let's say the dealership appraises it at $15,000. Well, now there's that $5,000 of negative equity. So sometimes we'll say you're $5,000 upside down, or they're $5,000 hooked, or sometimes they'll say we're $5,000 in the weeds. A lot of people, we're not going to say that directly to a customer. Sometimes we'll say it, but they overhear it. You know what I mean? And they're like, what does that mean? What does this mean? So that just means the another term for negative equity that you're carrying over.
Upside down has almost made its way to like the consumer market. I definitely, as a salesperson, heard plenty of times where someone, hey, I know I'm upside down. Like I wasn't sure if
especially lately post COVID.
Right, and I wasn't sure if it was because they saw like they're reading up online. And there's other people out there explaining in different ways the lingo or whatever the case. But how about out the door?
Out the door is your total number with your taxes, plates, and everything. So you'll see a car, online for $34,995, and now we're getting a lot more people that are within the past year or two. They're shopping mainly online. They want to get everything up front. So they ask, hey, what's the out the door number on that car? So you take your sale price and then you add in your sales tax based on the county you live in, where the vehicle is going to be registered, your plates, are you transferring plates, new plates, and then the other fees and everything like that. And so if you're writing the check, that's your out the door number to the penny.
So the total amount out the door is the total amount, essentially what it's going to take for you to take that car out the door.
Yeah, just like it's no different than when you go to Best Buy and you see a TV for $899. Okay, well it's plus tax and which is tax.
How about add-ons?
Add-ons are a little different. Things like, we have Thermoplate, which is the 7-year protection plan, and then you have nitrogen and wheel locks. So those are all in the addendum and everything like that too. Those will, include in the out-the-door price, everything too.
What else? Can you think of any off the top of your head?
Spot delivery.
Spot delivery.
That's a big one. People say, hey, I gotta. Once the customer says yes, and I'll page a porter, like, hey, I got a spot. And sometimes I'll look in the, out of the corner of my eye, and the people are like, what does that mean? I've had customers say, what does it mean, spot? Spot delivery means that you're selling the car right now. Like, they're not taking it home tomorrow. It's like they're taking it right now. So
all hands on deck, get it ready.
Cleaned up, get it fueled up, ready to go. Yep.
That's a good one. What else we got? There's other ones out there that we're missing.
Jeez.
Anywho, maybe we'll come up with a couple.
I'll think of them as we go
throughout the episode. One thing that came across the news headlines was, with all the data coming in from like the whole year, the base model vehicles are the amount of people buying the base models, the percentages are way higher than in the past. What do you, as someone on the front lines, what do you think that's attributed to?
I think just because price point. Like we said in the last episode, it's like with half-ton trucks, these are 80. I just was working with a customer earlier today, and it's $78,000 for a truck. That's I mean, it's a lot. You used to be able to get a well-equipped truck for $40,000. Now that's like a work truck with vinyl floors and vinyl seats and everything, and regular cab, steel wheels. So I think that's where, like, we mentioned a while back, where I want to see more stuff standard, so you're getting more money for less.
Right. Well, and I guess my 2 cents, and I have more experience with it recently on the consumer end, because we added a Hyundai Santa Fe to the family, right?
Yeah.
One of the reasons we didn't really go up into the trim levels was because, like, the base model came with remote start, lane departure, adaptive cruise control.
You got leather too, or no?
Blind spot. No, has cloth.
Right.
But again, when you have all the safety stuff standard, and even you throw in remote start in there. Yeah, then when you're talking to go up to the trims, it's like, yeah, there's definitely the nicer sound system, the cooled seats, the sunroof. Like, for sure, there's options that, like, the nicer, higher trim levels would have had. Yeah. But it's like when you get most of what you want in the base model, it's like, okay, do I really need the fancy wheels? Do I really care about this? Like,
that's the thing.
You make, when you're talking about $100 a month in payment difference between the base model and the top line trim, and that's not even a stretch.
Yeah,
right?
it's like, in
a Grand Cherokee, it could be a $200 difference.
Yeah, is it like payment. Is upgraded wheels and different trim and a satin grill versus a chrome grill, is it worth an extra $180 a month? To a lot of people, they're like, no. Like, I need it to do this and this and this. Does it have this and this? Yeah, this one has it right here. And then they'll say, okay, that's what I need. You'll also find that a lot of people just upsell themselves.
Yeah, for sure.
They'll ask, how much is it to go up to this? They're looking at an Overland.
Right.
I was like, how much is it to go to a Summit? It's like, okay, well,
I really do like that interior.
It's $4,000 more, $5,000 more. Yeah. It's like, okay, but you get this and this and this and this, and to some people that they'll see the value in it. There's the same guy earlier that Ryan and I were talking to. He's looking at a Bighorn 2500 Ram, and by the time he kind of optioned it out, you're nudging a Laramie. He's like, well, how much is it go to Laramie? It's like, it's this much. He goes, it was like $6,000 more.
Right.
He was even like, it's not that bad. And that was all on the customer. All we did was present them. So you'd be surprised that when you go in, for customers, like for you guys at home, it's like when you go into a dealership, you'll upsell yourself. And a lot of times this is always a thing too. It's statistically been proven that someone that comes in on a specific vehicle, they leave it in a different vehicle.
Yeah,
happens all the time. Happens all the time. Because they just see something different. They go, what's that one? Oh, well, this is the sport package, or this is the, the limited versus the Laredo.
Well, and a lot of times the hottest, newest, coolest car sells so fast, doesn't even have time to make it to the website. Like, we've seen that plenty of times where it's like, if it's the right car at the right price, like, chances are, like, someone's going to walk into the dealership the next day looking for something else, and then, oh, hey, what's that over there? I didn't see that.
Well, we got that we got the new color in yesterday on the Ram, the Canyon Lake. I'm in love with that color. And there was a guy that was.
What kind of color is that?
It's like a kind of take like an olive drab color, but on the Ram it looks really cool. And there was when it was coming off the transport, there was a guy he was in for service, and he's like, "What color is that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's a new one." It's like I was excited to see. He's like, and him and I walked out there and we looked around it, and he's kind of like, "Oh," so we raised an eyebrow. So.
Started the thinking process, at least, for sure.
Plant the seed.
So basically people are buying more base trims because people are looking for a more economic way into a reliable mode of transportation.
Yeah.
Also, the manufacturers are offering more in the base models than they ever have before, and they used to give us,
especially with the safety stuff.
Yeah, they used to give us one car lingo word I haven't heard in forever is a stripper. Which is like a stripped down. Yeah. Which is like a stripped down, like a no options.
Old man tan.
Yeah. Like a no options car. Basically,
like windows
basically the one that they built just to be able to say they had a car starting under $19,000 or whatever it was back in the day. But you don't really see that anymore. Like, even the base model in a lot of vehicles has aluminum wheels, right? That used to be an easy way to differentiate the base model, was it had steel wheels or hubcaps. Now, even a lot of them have aluminum wheels. A lot of them have nicer looking aluminum wheels.
Yeah.
They almost like went away from that, and like I feel like maybe it's like on the fleet only purchases you can do that. But we just don't even see that as much.
No, I think you'll see the trim levels across with all manufacturers. I think you're going to see the trim levels get like chopped down because it's still it's still it's not confusing. It's just, it's too much. And I think that's what people hate about, that's probably one thing people hate about shopping for new cars.
Yep.
There's just so many trim levels. And like I said before, it's like, okay, there's 6 different trim levels. And within those 6 different trim levels, each one has 6 different packages. It's like, it's too much. I mean, you gotta condense this, because then once it's easier to decipher the differences between maybe just 3 trim levels, now it makes the shopping experience a little bit easier.
Yep.
You know.
Oh, hey, what does it mean if a salesperson says I got skated?
Skated, that's a fun one. So for people that aren't in the car business at home, skate will be, so let's say Marcos and I are on the show floor, and let's say the customer came in and asked for him, hey, I'm here to see Marcos about that Jeep. And let's say he's at lunch, and I go, well, he's not here, knowing that he's just at lunch and he's probably going to come back within the hour. I'll say, hey, he's not here today, but I can help you out. And so then I'll just end up taking you, and then, you know, sell that person a car. And you come back from lunch going, you've seen this person hop in the new car, or they're in the finance office, and say, hey, what's going on? Oh, yeah, I took them. So that's skating, means you're stealing.
Yeah, they didn't remember your
from
name.
another. Yeah, they didn't remember your name.
That's a common one, right?
So even if there are bad apples in the car business,
Yep.
not with Kunes. Kunes is, we're very good here for the most part. But you'll find that there's some. I've worked with shady salespeople in the past and other dealer groups where, you know, I'll come in and, you know, shame on me for not properly telling them, hey, when you come in, make sure you ask for me. Or they'll tell me, hey, I asked for you, and they said you weren't here. It's like, no, I'm very much here. There's my desk. And
right.
so,
Yep.
and yeah, but that does happen. A lot of times the senior guys will do it to the new guys because they don't know. Like I used to do that. I used to say, oh, that's my uncle. He's coming in, and I don't even know the guy.
Yep. Well, and loyalty, I think throughout, not just in the automotive industry, like throughout industries, is like something that's almost like dying out. Like for example, like if you have repeat and referral business, that you're really doing something right. And the problem is that if you don't have repeat and referral business, you're not really gonna you're
gonna burn out quick.
Yeah, it's very tough to like keep up a good momentum without like that. So like, what do you think? I mean, why do you think it is that like people are like they're loyal to price? Really, is like what it seems like. They're not really loyal to
the newer shoppers I've seen. They just, I guess for lack of a better phrase, like this, they don't care.
Yeah, they don't think about it.
They don't want to. Yeah, they don't think about it. They don't want to. They're not there to build a relationship with the salesperson or the store. They want to buy the car and go.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but we have. You have a strong repeat customer list. I'm sure I do. Ryan does. Jordan does. Like there's people that come in and they ask for us like that we've sold 10, 15, 20 cars to over the years, right? So you're doing something right there, and I talked about that in another episode. But it's, I think. And I still have those customers because some of those customers are older now.
Sure.
Right. But like the newer customers that are in their 20s or their 30s, they could care less. They're just like, what's price? Boom. Okay. And then, but when there's a problem, they remember your middle name and everything. Right.
Sure.
But you just roll with it.
Just on the repeat and referral train. One thing I think is one of the biggest compliments you can get as a salesperson is if you have a parent, like a person that you have as a repeat referral, and then they bring their kids into you and buy a car, and they don't even stick around. They say, "Hey, this is Sandy. Pick out a car with him. He'll get you figured out." And I know you have people like that.
Yeah, and I not to be on my soapbox or whatever, because there's a lot of sales people that
for sure
have these scenarios where like I've had parents that was it a couple years ago, customers of mine, they live in Lake Geneva, and I sold the family multiple cars. Well, now their kid is 18 and they want to buy their own car and everything like that. And the dad will call, hey, I'm sending her over to you. And he literally had told me, he's like, we trust you. Like, to hear that as a car salesman, you're sending your kid, who's, they're an adult, they're 18, but, their pride and joy into a car dealership, into the wolf's lair. And he says to me, he says, hey, we trust you. And, she came in and she already knew me.
Right.
Like, I knew her when she was 15.
And sitting there on her phone probably in the customer.
When the mom and dad were buying a car. So now I was like, now it's your turn and all that. So
that's cool.
Sold her a Wrangler because her dad, the mom and dad gave her, a nice chunk of change for money down. She wanted to do it on her own. We got her in a cool Wrangler, and she was all happy and excited. And then later that night, they both mom and dad called me on the speakerphone, like, hey man, so glad you took care of her and all that. So like, That's gold.
Yep.
As much as we're loath in this business, for a scenario like that to happen, that just shows you that there's a lot of good salespeople out there that really care about their people.
And there's also good customers out there.
There are.
Because I think that's another thing, you get jaded as a salesperson. And again, this is throughout industries. Anytime that you're kind of in the sales world where you hear no more often than you hear yes,
Yep.
it's easy to get jaded, to get like a negative view on life, on people, on society, whatever. So, I mean, shout out to the good customers, because that's got to be one of the most important parts of any successful business is it's good.
Yeah.
And when I say good, I mean people they like us. They're advocates for us. You need that.
There's a couple I have like Steve and Tina. They live up the road. Like they love us, and it's like I always get excited when they come in, even if they're just coming in for service.
Yeah.
And it's so cool that like you could see how, for this next generation of buyer, really like establish that, because it's when I see them come in and they're just in for service or they're running back to parts or whatever, it's so like. It feels so like rewarding when they're just like, it's so like no pressure, low key. Like even if there's ever been issues, it's like, hey, how's it going? Blah, blah, blah. And they'll just sit with me for a little while. And it's easier to say, hey, what are you looking at next? And they're already like, what do you got? What do you got? They're not like, it's so cool. And like,
well, you also have the benefit
awesome.
of being at a Jeep store where the Jeep life is kind of a lifestyle. I mean, if you're in the Jeep life, like the Jeep life is you, right? It's like, you dive head
even like
first
with,
into it for a lot of
whenever
people.
I've gone to, and I know I bring the store up a lot, but it's a very good store. It's a good environment. I like it, is the Cadillac Chevy store in Delavan. Cadillac, there's, I'm sure Judy and all those guys, they have strong repeat customers that are on their 7th, 8th, 12th Cadillac Escalade or whatever. And that's a huge client base to have. That's an awesome client base to have, because most of those people probably lease or pay cash, and they trade out every 3 years.
Even a lot of the cash, I think Cadillac, they lease a big portion of their cars, like all the other luxury car brands. But I do think they have that, I think Lincoln lost it a little bit as far as like, yes, people like knew Lincoln. It was around forever. But like the saying is literally nothing rides like a Cadillac, right?
Yeah, it's true.
So they've had, I think, a lot of people growing up, if they've probably envisioned at some point when I have some type of success, like a Cadillac is that like symbol of success.
And
right?
that brand's not even really an old brand. Like Chrysler, I work at Chrysler, yes, but it is you associate that with an old name, old brand. But Cadillac really isn't. It used to be. My grandpa drives a Cadillac, but now you got people in their 20s that are driving these, these Escalade Vs. It's like, and they're souping them up, you know what I mean? But that brand is really, the demographic has grown on that one.
All right, so I want to hit you with some rapid fire stuff, if that's okay. Now, I'm not going to hold you to it, but I am going to call you out if I don't think it's realistic. I want to do a rapid fire segment. Our first ever rapid fire segment. So basically, what I was thinking was I'm going to give you some price points. So for example, the first one, not so rapid fire, because I'll give you the background. So for example, $200.
Nothing.
Right? When we started selling cars, I know that was the joke at the time.
Like for a payment or a price?
Yeah, payment.
Oh, that's easy.
Yeah, not Black Friday. Not Black Friday deals.
Payment.
No, for a payment. So because that's what most people are buying, right? Most people are buying based off payments. We're talking Cadillac leases a bunch. Even the people, I got on a tangent there, but what I was going with was Cadillac probably does have a lot of people that would traditionally pay with cash, but when a salesperson explains to them, hey, you can give me $50,000 now and come in and trade the vehicle in 3 years, or you could give me $30,000 now or $25,000 now.
Those are going to bring up that Lexus
and still
customer I had.
Come in and you know what I'm saying? The one-pay leases are huge.
Dude, more. I wish more manufacturers. I don't know which ones exactly do it, without kind of researching, but they really should do one-pay leases. They should.
Yeah, I think so. From my experience, most of the American makes will do it. I don't have too much experience. I don't think I've ever done a one-pay lease on an import.
Well, then the finance guy's like, I don't want it. It's like, why? It's guaranteed that we're going to see somebody back in 3 years.
Yeah, well, and I think
stop your complaining. It's like
I think a lot of that depends on the finance guy, because they're
all prima donnas.
There's definitely finance guys that don't hate the one-pay leasing because it's better than a cash deal.
Yeah, exactly. And you can still
way
sell
better
them
than a cash
tire
deal
and
if you're a
wheel and all
finance
that.
guy.
You know.
But either way, it's just paperwork. But the lease is nice for the one-pay lease. We'll go to that. But anyway, so yes, car payments. And I know, so $200, I know it's, when we started, that was kind of a joke that like everybody wanted a $200 car payment. Now, very rarely do we get someone coming in still looking for a $200 car payment, but technically you can still, there are some cars out there you could buy for $200 still. So we'll throw a couple disclaimers out there. Let's just work
a lot of disclaimers.
Let's just work like average to good credit, right? So let's just say you're average person in America. And let's say like not putting anything crazy down, maybe just putting taxes down, putting fees down. How about that? Tax, title, payment, license.
Yeah.
So just purchase price of a vehicle to end up somewhere around that.
200.
Yeah. So what do you got for $200 a month? And we're gonna start the timer now. Sandy, what is the best car somebody could buy if they are on a budget of $200 a month?
Jeep Compass.
Oh, yeah, sure. So realistically, you're probably talking maybe like a 2018 with like lower miles.
Something probably under 70,000 miles.
Okay, so we're
You know,
and we're talking something like that might be out there for around that $10,000 price point. Is that kind of where you came?
You'd be in the teens.
In the teens still.
But if you get like with your disclaimers,
Yeah.
a lot of disclaimers.
But
the length of the loan, the rate, and all that. But yeah, I mean,
and nothing crazy. We're talking like 72 months, right?
Yeah.
We're not talking like, I know they're on the West Coast. You know, they're going past 90 months on car loans.
Crazy.
At some, we don't have too much of that in the Midwest. I think 84 is the longest we see.
I'd say like if you got
sure,
a couple grand down, a Jeep Compass.
Maybe even sneak in a 4-wheel drive for $200 a month. That would be crazy.
Or if you can find a Renegade.
Or
like a Buick, Invista.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
That's a great one.
All right, rapid fire.
Yeah.
So that's it for the 200. That's three solid choices for $200 a month. If you're looking for a car for $200 a month, three solid choices right there.
Again, he'll probably put a lot of disclaimers somewhere, but yeah.
No, I probably won't. It's just verbal disclaimers. We're talking hypotheticals here.
Hypothetical, okay.
But we do want to be realistic, right?
Yeah.
So
there's some variables.
Yeah. So how about $500 a month?
Oh, that's a lot of car.
Right. And again, this is just for your average person.
Yeah.
Not having
there's
to move.
a ton. I mean, if you go like sedans, mid-size sedans, you could do a pre-owned Camry, a Malibu, a Ford Fusion. Not so many Fusions around anymore, but Camry, Malibu, Honda Accord, Hyundai Elantra.
What if I needed an SUV?
SUV, you could go there too. You could probably be a lower mileage Jeep Compass, Ford Bronco Sport.
Oh, those are cool. I do like those.
Chevy Equinox, GMC Terrain, Buick Encore GX. Now you start getting into the crossovers, some all-wheel drive versions, pre-owned Cherokee, that one too.
Could we throw out a Buick Regal Cross Tour in there?
I miss that car, man. I love that car.
Those are cool.
But yeah, then you're starting to get into lower miles, slightly newer.
Yeah, sure. So now we're not shooting the standard 100. Now we're probably once you're talking $500, you're talking under 50,000 miles realistically for the cars that you were talking
worth
about.
our lifetime warranty powertrain.
Yep, and realistically, if you went to 72 months, probably even throw an extended warranty on there.
Yeah.
So all you had to do was worry about your payment. All right, so let's say I made it. I got $1,000 a month to spend. Now, obviously,
that's easy.
Ooh, easy. Okay, let's hear it.
$1,000 a month.
$1,000 a month.
A new Ram.
Which one?
You could probably do a Laramie for that.
Really?
No. A Bighorn.
Really? You could?
I'd say a Bighorn. I'd say a well-equipped Bighorn crew cab. A nicely equipped F-150 if we're looking at trucks. Silverado. Or you could man.
What if I wanted a fast car for $1,000 a month? So the Ram truck, that is, solid choice. I love the Bighorn. I think is one of the best specs.
SRT8 Grand Cherokee.
Ooh, like the
a Ford Explorer, which I really like, is the Explorer STs.
Yeah,
you can tune those things.
I would totally take the Grand Cherokee.
A used, I like to say pre-owned, but a pre-owned like Scat Pack.
Okay.
Charger, Challenger,
yeah,
Mustang.
I forgot you get a wide body Scat Pack.
Yeah, SS Camaro. I mean, there's tons of options. A used Porsche. For $80,000.
I like it. Okay, so. You're a big Toyota guy. Did you hear anything about them possibly bringing back the MR2?
No.
So it's whispers. I think at this point, all Toyota did was file the...
Let me guess, a hybrid electric version.
Okay, so that's what I wanted to talk about. I was hoping you knew more than I did about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So yes, that's the first thing I thought of was here we go, another car manufacturer bringing back a nameplate and an idea that we're all gonna
That's what
love,
sucks.
and then not executing.
Well, they're bringing
on
back
what,
these iconic names, these iconic vehicles, which is great, right? But you're ruining it by putting an electric drivetrain in it, or even like I love hybrids, but even putting a hybrid drive, it's like no, it's like give us a naturally aspirated small 4-cylinder. Or whatever, a V6 turbo or whatever. It's like they're bringing back these iconic things like the Charger, right? EV. Look how well that was received. Not very good. But now they're putting the gas engines in them, and it's reeling those people back in. But,
I don't have a lot of faith in this happening, but I'm going to get up on my soapbox real quick. I really think that they always miss it. So, for example, the original MR2, why was it cool? It was mid-engine. It had good handling, and it was simple. And it was simple. It was a simple car, even at the time.
Analog.
Like it had some cool futuristic features, but they were design features. They weren't like it was like aesthetics. It wasn't like mechanically. Like mechanically, it wasn't.
It was
really
the digital gauge cluster, and they'd put the electronic fuel injection badge on the side of it.
Yeah, like they had a couple things, but realistically, like it was a simple vehicle.
Yeah.
Like in today's world, if they made a simple mid-engine little sports car, and simple to me means keep the price down. Like yes, I'm talking about gadgets and features and screens. Like this I don't care. MR2 does not need 5 screens. I can already see it. It's gonna have a screen here. It's gonna have a screen in the middle. It's gonna have some type of screen, like rally readout screen for the passenger.
It's going to be way too complicated because they're going to focus too much on the infotainment, and they're going to miss out on the handling,
which they always do infotainment on the hybrid and electric vehicles. Now I love that about hybrid and electric vehicles. I just think for the MR2,
put those in the sedans and the SUVs that the majority of people are buying. But when someone buys a car like that, it's a driver's car.
Now
keep it like that.
Now it is going to be branded as the GR. I think that stands for like Gazoo Racing or something like that.
Gazoo, yeah.
Gazoo, okay.
They're back in F1 too.
Is it they run as Toyota or they run as GR?
It's GR. So GR is a like I'm gonna get flamed for this if I get it wrong, but it's like a racing division of Toyota.
Okay,
that like GR right. Racing was in like the 24 Hours of Le Mans. They're in F1 now as paired up with.
Sure, but what's the newest, the one that recently dropped, the one that they just
Lexus
launched?
did one. It's the GR GT.
That one, but it's not a Lexus GR GT, right? Look it up.
Lexus.
It is a Lexus GR.
It's the V8 twin turbo.
Okay, but so it's not just a GR.
GR GT.
GR is not. Okay, is GR the make though?
GR is the
model. See, just because the way I saw
if you have a GR Corolla, it's like the.
But it does that car say Toyota on it? Yeah. I don't know. Okay, so
it's all badged up to it. GR is just kind of like think like SRT.
Okay.
Ford has
for a while they did want to make SRT its own thing. I don't know if you remember that. We were selling it at the same time,
it back?
I think. Yeah, I hope they do.
They are.
But yeah, I'm afraid that like yes, all the enthusiasts, especially like people our age that grew up with that car. Like when I was younger, that car was like just starting to be cool. Like it came out, and I don't think it like just because it was a little underwhelming in like certain areas. Mm-hmm. It wasn't appreciated a ton at first, but when I call it by the time the car's like 10 years old, it was already kind of starting to gain, gain that like folklore or whatever.
Remember the Fiero?
Mm-hmm.
But MR2 was like, that's the thing. You know, if they bring back these small like sports cars, but keep them simple, I think they'll sell a ton of them if you just keep it simple.
If you're gonna get flamed for anything in the comments, it's for putting Fiero in the same sentence as the MR2.
I had a friend in high school that had one of those. He was like the coolest guy ever. But like the Supra, was the new one. Yeah, was a joint venture between Toyota and BMW.
Sure,
and a lot of people didn't. The purists didn't like it because it basically had a BMW interior and the buttons and all that. So now they've actually separated. So the next generation Supra is all Toyota, which I'm a huge fan of.
Is 26 is the last year for this gen Supra? Is that right?
For this generation,
or it was 25 the last year.
25, I think, is the last year. So
I thought I saw that they're doing like a last call.
Nah, I don't know. Oh yeah, they are.
I feel like too many manufacturers.
But the next versions, the next version's going to be just Toyotas.
Okay, so it will be there.
And I think you'll see more of a driver's car with them.
I hope so. I really hope that's what the MR2 is. I mean, the MR2 has a chance to be super cool, like a cheap mid-engine car, which is what the original MR2 was. So if they could nail it to be a cheap now, because
but they probably won't, because you know what's going to happen. They're going to make it an EV.
It's going to be an NSX
and it's
fighter.
Starting at $45,000. It's like this should be a $24,000 car.
I would be happy if it was at 40. I think this is going to be like $100,000 car.
It shouldn't.
I'm telling you,
Well, look what happened with this is getting bad reception is the Prelude.
Yeah.
It's like 46, 47,000. And for what? It's got a 200 horsepower. It's front wheel drive, right? It's basically it's a Honda Civic. It's a 2-door Civic. You can get a GR Corolla that has 300 horsepower,
right? Little rally
for
car.
less money. Cool. You can get a 5-liter Mustang.
That's a good point.
New for cheaper than you can buy a Prelude for.
That's actually super interesting. You can get a 5. You're right. You can get a
5-liter Mustang. I can go right to the Ford Delavan store right now across the street and get a 5-liter, probably manual, for sub $40,000, brand new.
That's
why
crazy.
am I going to spend $46,000 on a Honda Prelude? It's cool. I'm glad they brought it back, but just like when they brought back the Charger, they completely missed on that one. It's like,
and that's one of my favorite cars. I had a '93 Prelude that I absolutely loved dearly.
Prelude should be $40,000. I could see if like you started in the low 30s, 31, 32, and then maybe like you had a Type R version that was like 40, 41, then that makes sense. And they only build it one way. That's a cool thing. They'll build it
with that
one way, but you're priced.
They're priced, yeah.
How are you going to attract all these younger buyers when you price them out of the market?
Yeah.
You know, because they all come in and they want a $300 payment on it. It doesn't work. You know, do you have $15,000 down? No.
And you're right. Well, the average person buying a $40,000 car, you're right, is gonna maybe gravitate toward the Mustang, or even I'm trying to think, like there's some cool Acura sedans on the market.
Yeah. I just don't see why
the Camry sedans. Like
I don't see why all these manufacturers. Why can't you make a car that's like mid-20s, maxing out at $30,000? That's attainable for.
Have you ever driven a Chevy Trax?
Yeah, right.
Have you driven one though?
I think they're great.
They're great.
You know,
and that's exactly what they are.
That's what everybody wants. These cars are too expensive.
Topped out. Okay, 27 and some change.
Here's $27,000. Oh, well, it's too small. Oh, it doesn't have this. Okay, but that's where that prices you. Unfortunately, right now. But I think the manufacturers need to start making more cars like that. Like, can you imagine if the Trax was all-wheel drive? I mean, they sell a ton of them, right?
Yeah,
if they were all-wheel drive.
100%. And considering a topped out one's at like 27 and some change, you could probably even make it under $30,000.
Yeah.
I think it comes down to what we've talked about before, is the research and development dollars. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but they already know. It's like, okay.
Yeah, you'd think they could just rip it from somewhere.
But they're out of touch with the buyer. It's like you have all these engineers, everybody in these boardrooms and everything. And it's all those college degrees in that big factory in that big, boardroom, and they can't figure out. Just make a car sub $30,000, you'll sell more of them. But then they always have their big meetings. Oh, how come sales are down? Because it's $50,000. Like, no one's buying it. The one guy, the retiree, is going to buy that Prelude and stroke a check for it. But maybe you have a lot of people in their 20s that want that car, but they're like, it's $43,000. I can't afford it.
And I have no credit, so that car's $1,000 a month.
Yeah, unless you're some guy, guy or girl that's on YouTube and has 8 billion subscribers, and you making millions of dollars that can go buy a Ferrari that you see them all do it all the time. Okay, well that's like a little sliver of the population, right? But for just a normal kid, anybody that's between
like 21, their first real car.
21 and 27 years old, like those cars should cost the same price as how old they are. Like should be 25, 28, 6, 27. But you have those cars, but then they don't. If I turn it back on the customer, it's like, okay, well, Chevy Trax, Buick Envista, like when we had the Renegade, those were in the 20s.
Yes,
they didn't want that. Wanted something bigger. Right. Okay, well, that doesn't. For what you want, this is what's in that bracket.
Yep. No, that's actually a good point. So the economical vehicles have kind of always been around. But maybe the reason that there aren't more of them is just because people, like kind of what you were saying earlier, they bump themselves and they want something bigger. So, we say we want one thing, but once we see what that actually looks like in a vehicle.
They come in on a Trax and they're leaving in a Equinox at, double the payment.
I will say
And that's on them.
I will say more. So most recently, I was selling at a Chevy Cadillac store. I did sell a ton of Traxxas, and I think there was enough like highlights about them that people kind of they're like, you know what? Like they compromised. I hate to say it like that, but they said, you know what? For the $10,000 different in price, which is sometimes what it would cost to go to, for example, like an Equinox with a similar equipment. Now you're talking mid-30s.
Well, that's what was tough. Like, was it last summer and the summer before when the Trax came out? You know, I'd have repeat customers coming in, like with their kids. Hey, I'm looking for a new car, right? And they want leather, heated seats, remote start, you know, blah, 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 blah. Okay, well, in a Compass, that's $39,000.
Yep.
The same equipment in a Trax is $27,000.
Yeah, minus the all-wheel drive.
Yeah, so it's like,
So yeah, you're really paying that big difference. You're
they'd
paying
be
for
like,
the right of having.
I
an
like the
all-wheel
Jeep,
drive.
and you can only upsell it so much, right? But then they're gonna be like, it's 10 grand for 10 grand cheaper. I'm getting the same stuff, and I'll say, well, you know, it's the Jeep nameplate, it's all-wheel drive, you get all this stuff. But sometimes it's just money. It comes down to dollars, you know.
We talk about the loyalty.
And that's what was frustrating. That's why
dollars.
like, why can't Jeep make? They made one. They made the Renegade. That car was in the 20,000s. Yeah, it was. You either loved or you hated it, the body style, right?
I think it was too radical of a design. Yeah, I liked it too. I like ugly cars, though. I notoriously like ugly cars.
I didn't think it was ugly. It's very utilitarian. It was different, and there was always killer rebates on that thing.
The only reason a lot of people thought it was ugly was just because it's so boxy, and you either love or hate.
That's Jeep's thing.
Yeah, well, the Grand Cherokee isn't.
And what do most people right now?
The Grand Cherokee isn't. The Cherokee wasn't.
Well, look at most Jeep people that have had tons of Jeeps. What do they hate about the newer ones? They're rounded off. The two others, like, you know, you'll see on these forums, like, they should build them like this again, and the guy will post a picture of his 2001 Jeep
Right.
4-liter. Well, again, that's what they did, and you didn't like it. So, but
No, I get that. that. All right, should we end by defending an unpopular automotive opinion? And who knows, this might even be popular. The controversy begins. So the controversial topic of the day that you have to defend. So you are single-handedly fighting the battle
that's easy.
that Mustangs are great handling cars.
They are.
Really? Why do I see like 5 fail videos a day of them driving into parades? And
Yeah,
stuff?
I mean, they're notorious for not. You see them at racetracks and everything like that, losing control and all that. It comes down to. I think it comes down to, one, the driver. You have to have somebody that's experienced. A lot of guys want to get in these cars, and they want to turn off the stability control and just dump the clutch and go. Those are the guys you see spinning out and going up on curbs. And
it's accessible horsepower. You think maybe it's a victim of being
it's accessible horsepower, but that
horsepower?
doesn't mean it should be accessible to everybody.
Sure.
It's the driver. It's how you drive it. It comes down to tires. You know, I've seen people put, you know, like the wrong tire on a sports car.
Sure, driving around the wintertime with a summer tire on.
Yeah.
All the time we see that.
You know, they handle very well. I think Mustangs, it's always a joke because they never like hook up. Hook up means like they get proper traction off the line and, you know, you go. But when driven correctly with someone experienced and with the right setup, you know, with the right tire combination, all that, yeah, it's a very good car. You know, they do tend to get a little tire happy though. That's just the way that's designed. That's their
not to
design.
sit here and argue with you, but that's what we're here for. I always thought
You have an opposing view?
I always thought there was something to it, though. Yeah, mark the date. I always thought there was something to it, though, because, correct me if I'm wrong, but for the longest time, Mustang was like the last of the muscle cars that had like a live rear axle. Like it was a solid axle.
Yep.
Right. Everyone else was on independent suspension, and they were basically still using like an axle out of an F-150.
Yep.
So whenever I saw
it was that old technology.
Yeah, so when I saw the memes and all that stuff, I did kind of think back to, okay, well, maybe there is something to that. After getting to drive some, I feel like it's like, I feel like you could crash with any car over 300 horsepower. Like if you're just on a road, right?
You can.
Like I think we're so desensitized because you can go out and buy 700 horsepower cars from almost all the, like every American car make, right? You can go out and buy a 700 horsepower something. F-150s, the Mustangs, the...
I had a lady, not to cut you off, but
Yeah.
one of my friends that works at another store, Zach, this lady, he told me this story, but the lady bought, this was last week, mom came in with her son, just turned 16, just got his license, She wants him to learn how to drive stick. Cool. I think that's awesome, right?
I think that's great.
So she buys him a car.
Yeah, what car?
So I said, "What did you buy? What car did she buy him?" And he texted me a picture of the keys. What do you think it would have been?
I mean, it had to be like
It was a red key.
It was at a Toyota store?
It was a red key. What comes with a red key only?
I mean, no way he got a Hellcat.
Yes.
What?
But it was a 18 Challenger SRT Hellcat. And for those of you at home, most people know what that car is, but it is a Dodge Challenger with a 6.2 supercharged Hemi with 700 horsepower, and she bought this for her 16-year-old son as his first car, 2, how to learn to drive stick in. Now I get it, hey, not to bash that scenario.
No,
more the merrier.
More power to him, right?
But come on, man. What are you doing? Like,
that is a little scary. So, for example, if the story was...
I don't drive boats, but that'd be like Scotty saying, hey, come and drive the Cobalt. Like, I don't know. I know it floats. I'm not throttling up on that thing. Like, come on, man.
I feel like the only way that's a acceptable like statement is like, oh, my 16-year-old who's been racing go-karts his entire life.
Yeah, he's gonna get in. He's gonna get anything and probably know how to launch.
Yeah, when you say I want to learn how to drive stick shift, like literally, and here's the thing, like I'm sure someone could argue in the comments, oh, you don't even have to touch the gas to get out of to get moving it, because it's if you had really great clutch control in a Hellcat with how much torque is available at idle, in theory, yes, you could get going 20-30 miles an hour without even touching the.
Well, it's funny too. Gas. It's funny that we talked about Mustangs, but I had a this grandmother, this was years back, grandmother came in with her grandson, bought him a car for his birthday. He was 18. And what was it? It was a manual transmission Mustang. And went through the whole process, bought the car, everything like that. And then she said, she gave me a hug, saying, oh, thank you for all the great experience, blah, blah, blah. And then I gave the grandson the keys, and she looks at me, and then she looks at him, she goes, okay, now you got to teach him how to drive stick. It's like, what?
Oh, gosh.
So I looked at him. I'm like, you don't know how to drive stick? He goes, no. She said you were going to show me. And he had a 2-hour drive back home.
Lucky that I got a salesperson that knew how to drive stick.
So I taught him how to drive in like 3 minutes.
That's
and then
hilarious.
I watched him stall once, leaving the lot, but then he got on the road. Then I said, call me when you get home. And then he called. And he goes, actually, yeah, I got to figure it out now. I stalled it a couple times, and I'm like,
hey. I'll tell you what, there may not be a better way to learn to drive stick shift than go buy a stick shift car, and have to get home.
Yeah, communion by fire, man.
Some people
jump in it.
Yeah, some people have a really hard time with it, but I think as a salesperson, if you've been in it long enough, you have taught people how to drive stick. And yeah, I think that's the story for most people. You kill it a couple times, you get the nerves out. You're lucky at your store you have that like private road that goes back to the park.
That's nice.
So if you stall it there and cry for 30 seconds, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. But what you were saying about Mustangs, they're notorious, but I think there's that. You just got with any car, you just got to drive it right. You can't just stomp on it, and it's especially with that car, like with the different axle and how suspension's all set up. They're more tail happy.
Yep.
Like Vipers, the older Vipers, not the new ones, but the older ones had no ABS, no stability control. So that was like, they called it a widowmaker, right? So you couldn't just get in that car and hammer on it. It's like, you control everything,
Yeah, if you know what you're doing.
Yeah.
All right, so let's end this. I know you got a customer to get back to. Let's end this with a layup. We'll see if you're picking up what I'm laying down. What is the easiest car? If somebody wanted or really needed to learn how to drive stick shift, what is the best vehicle to learn how to drive stick shift
on? I'd say like an old Honda Civic, or what's really I think is better is like an old Wrangler.
Ding, ding, ding.
Because those are very forgiving.
I said layup because he's a Jeep salesman. But
it's true.
100%. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Like the old Civics are really, those have an easy clutch.
Or like an old farm truck or something. Those are what work, because you know how to really feather a clutch pedal.
But you can still get a new Wrangler, right?
In stick?
In stick?
No.
They don't do a stick anymore? So you'd have gone. The 3 people a year that bought it.
Yeah, the one guy from 6 Hours Up North that wants the red one with soft top.
I'm trying to think back. I can only think of one new stick shift. It was a red one A 2-door. That's literally the only stick shift Wrangler that I can think of that I sold, like as new. Used, pre-owned, I've sold plenty of them.
We had an order on one years ago. It was red with tan cloth.
That's good.
With a tan soft top in stick. And they lived like hours up north, but he was very specific on color. It didn't look bad. It was pretty cool. Yeah, but that's what he wanted. I think that's the last one I've seen leave our lot new.
Yep. All right. Yeah. Do you have any last words of wisdom?
No.
Well,
come buy a car before the end of the year.
Yep, buy a car before the end of the year. If you're trying to learn how to drive a stick shift, go.
I'm not gonna teach you.
I was gonna say go bug Sandy. He's handing out lessons
for a fee.
Yeah, if you buy a car, right? If you buy the car, you'll
free lesson.
See, a free. Well, we got to be careful with the word free. Complimentary stick shift driving lessons if you purchase stick shift from Sandy. So appreciate y'all. Have a fantastic day, Sandy. Good luck with your car sale.
Yep. See you guys later.